TPCSI fans, you want to revolutionize your sports investing habits? Allow me to tell you about WagerWire. WagerWire is an app that helps you become a superior bettor by allowing you to sync all your sports books and track all your bets in one place. See your current action, your betting history, and stats. You could also sign up for sports books and collect bonus offers. Follow them at WagerWire on X, as it's the best account on the platform. Head to App Store or Play Store now and search WagerWire and download the app.
Jared, hey, we're gonna need you to tone it down with the Summer Friday thing, okay?
What are you talking about?
Well, for one, it's not summer anymore.
Oh, really?
Coconut. Also, who is this?
I'm the caddy.
Oh, he's my intern.
Sorry, intern. I'm his intern.
Yeah, he's doing a great job.
No golfing in the office, okay? Summer Fridays are over. You can keep the Hawaiian shirt, but the rest of the stuff, all right? Are you grilling?
Oh, yeah. Did you want a burger or a hot dog?
No, grilling in the office.
That's a good point. We should take this outside.
No, that don't. You put that right back down.
Yo, it's all in the hips.
Oh, dude, come on, we gotta go. Let's go.
From the ECSI Sports Studios and the #1 sports investors in America, we bring you the closing bell. As the market closes, legends Jeff Dawson and Riley Magnuson bring you all the sports investing tips for tonight's matchups. If you want to learn more from the two legends at the desk, make sure you stay tuned to the closing bell.
Good afternoon, sports fans from all around the globe. I am the co-host, Jeff Dawson, East Coast Sports Investors, and thank you so much for joining myself and Riley Magnuson for today's Closing Bell, Friday, the 27th of December. Hope everyone had a great holiday. 'Tis the season as we wind down 2024. I was going to say 2024, a lot of action going on. Currently, Navy 21-14, about a minute and a half left in the third. The midshipmen closed at a pick. If you bought early, you could have got them +2 or 3, but now down to a pick. Actually, -1 at our good friends at South Point. Good afternoon, Mr. Vaccaro and Chris Andrews. Shout out to our proud sponsors and partnerships. It's WagerWire. Head on over to Google Play. Download that app. It's free. We were just on with CXO Travis Geiger, and we got some big plans for WagerWire and all their tools for 2025. I kind of let the cat out of the bag with a mini lunchtime segment. That's where I'm planning. Buy, hold, sell, or yell, as we're going to come on 2-3 times a week and talk about tickets, talk about futures, and live up-to-date odds and where you bought them and where you can sell them. So take a look at that. We'll be launching that early 2025. Viva Tequila Seltzer, CT Bets. Happy birthday, young man. Your birthday today. Great product. New flavor lemon. Came out with coconut this summer. The East Coast is cuckoo for coconut. And, of course, Atlanta Steaks and Seafood. Terry Smith. His product, second to none. Head on over to Facebook. Follow Terry, and while you're there, head on over to atlantasteaksandseafood.com. Place an order today. You could be grilling as early as next week. So without further ado, let's bring him in, Mr. Southside Riley himself. What's up, champ?
What is up, my friend? Happy post-Christmas here. Glad to see you. Hope the holidays were good to you, my friend. Good to be here. We've got plenty of action here. I'm not going to call it Re-Entry Friday, but we've got 3 NFL games under our belt already this week with a bunch more up ahead of us. So we've got some recapping to do, I'm sure. But all things good, my friend. Happy to be here, ready to rock in. Almost rocking a new year, but obviously get ready for this big weekend of sports action.
Well, I could not have scripted last night's game any better. Hats off to a couple dozen people that had the no touchdown prop at about 120, 140 to 1. In our big, football fantasy finals, 3-week sprint, the number one overall wins 250,000. Then it goes to 50,000, then 20,000 all the way down. I think top 42 cash. We had an okay first week, 155. There was some 230s. There was a 255 up there. Last week we got 211. And this week we had on Christmas Day, Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, and Justin Tucker. They got a 70, 69.8 to be exact. And we didn't get the fourth quarter. Now before this 3-week sprint started, I said, can the Ravens get us 100 points at the Giants, home against the Steelers, and at Houston? They got us 100 points.
Yeah.
But they got no fight back from the Giants. They got a little from the Steelers, and we needed a pushback from Houston, and they scored 2 points. But my point is, last night, no touchdowns. No one did anything. We were sitting in the 16 spot. We dropped 1 spot to 17th overall with no guys to go. We got no guys on Saturday, 3 games on Saturday. Sunday at 1 o'clock, we have Bowers from the Raiders, and we got Josh Downs from the Colts. But the action really heats up with your game at 4:25. We got Justin Jefferson, Jaden Reed, and then the Packers defense. And then we got to sit in our shit through the Sunday night game and then dream on Monday when we wheel out Jamison Williams for the cherry on top. Now we know J-Mo, blink an eye, he can catch a 50, 60, 70-yarder with the best of them. So I got the eyes on the potential second, third, fourth prize, but I think we're in a good spot to cash anywhere from 15 grand to 5 grand.
Yeah. No, there's nothing better other than the successful result, but nothing better than seeing it laid out in front of you and knowing that you've got a great chance, as opposed to the opposite where you're hoping for 1 or 2 miracles and on your own team, and then 10 different duds on the other side of things. So, no, I'm rooting for you, my friend. I've got 2 championships I'm in as well. I unfortunately am playing against Lamar and Derrick Henry in both of them. Both leagues, both opponents have both of them. But no harm, no foul. Nobody yet on my one dynasty that I've told you about. I haven't had anybody go on that one, but I do. Did lose CeeDee Lamb, obviously, for the year. Cowboys shut him down. Honestly, with them being eliminated, surprising that they didn't do that sooner on it, honestly. Kudos to him for sticking it out this past week. Actually, the last few weeks, I mean, there's been 2 or 3 games where he's playing well, and then he goes down wrong on that shoulder, and then, he's kind of MIA for a handful of plays. So kudos to him for sticking it out when it doesn't really matter. But I've got Scary Terry against the Falcons defense, which is decent. I've got my Joe Burrow, T. Higgins stack there, and then I've got Justin Jefferson myself. So not crying too bad that I don't have CeeDee Lamb. He wasn't putting up 200-yard games anyways. But you know what? I'll throw this at you right now. I've got my running back 2 situation is my only spot. As health permitting, is my only spot that's kind of a pain in the butt. But now I'm seeing that David Njoku is ruled out. So now it's an easy choice. I got to go with my guy Tucker Kraft. But David Njoku getting those 12 targets every once in a while. He brought me to the promised land last year in that one. So that is tough to see. But I got Saquon RB1, running back 2. Tony Pollard has been my guy for the most of the year. Kept the lights on, kept it steady. He was kind of the weak spot of my team, but, steady enough. He's banged up still. I think I saw only 40% of. I don't remember if it was 40% snap count or 40% carry load. I already forgot off the top of my head, if I'm being honest. I want to say it was 40% snap count. I've got Rico Dowdle, who's obviously been playing well, but going up against the Eagles, tough matchup. Could be way behind and chucking it all game. I've got Travis Etienne, who's kind of been dead to me for the majority of the season. And then I've got who they obviously were abysmal against my Packers the other night. I've got RB2, now RB1 in New Orleans, Kendre Miller, who they were, chucking it, and Spencer Rattler was indeed chucking it, to put it lightly, in that game on Monday night. They are playing the lowly Las Vegas Raiders, and now I think the Raiders, last I checked, were favored. But am I crazy to think that Kendre Miller is my guy here? And I could go with maybe a steady spot here. But after already seeing my opponent, and again, the only thing that's happened so far is my opponent's had Lamar and Derrick Henry go. Nobody else. I've had nobody at all go. And now I'm wondering if Kendre Miller, maybe a boom or bust situation here, is my best option there at my RB2.
Well, I'm going to pull up our rankings. Now here's the funny. My last waiver wire move on our team number 1 is I picked up Kendre Miller, and I played him last week in our flex spot because we lost Kenneth Walker. We were running the wishbone. Oh, I forgot to mention I have A-Chain too. So I have A-Chain on that big team as well. So, that one slipped my mind. We were running the wishbone all year with Henry, A-Chain, and Kenneth Walker. We lost Walker. One of our big prizes on the waiver wire was Cedric Tillman. We lost him for a month. That was a waiver wire flex. We lose Josh Downs for 3-4 weeks. He came back last week. We played Miller over Downs, and it bit us in the ass. So I'm putting Downs in. I'm praying Flacco starts. I really am. Of course, Downs gets the cheap touchdown last week, but I am praying Flacco starts.
If Flacco's starting, he's he was getting double-digit targets a game. I think I'm talking on my ass, but it might have even been double-digit targets a game. But yeah, anyways, go ahead.
All right, so let me go through our rankings here. I'm still Rico Dowdell. We got it 19, 13.6. Pollard at 29 at 11.3. ETN at 31 at 10.6. And still looking, unless they moved him up and I missed him. Hold on. Maybe there is hope for you. No, where is he? Kendrick Miller's at 27th at 11.7. So your highest ranking one is Rico at 13.6.
So he's the choice, but I guess I'm more concerned that they're going to get their what's kicked. It's going to be tough for him in the first place, and then they're going to get down 2-3 scores quick, and they're going to have to be chucking it the whole game. That was my concern with Rico Dowdle, because Tony Pollard, unless I hear a report that Tony Pollard is healthy and he's going to be all systems go and getting the full workload again, I don't think I can go with Tony Pollard again.
No, and I think you're doing what we looked at it as, hey, no Alvin Kamara, let's give it a shot. And they got behind early, and then Rattler's running for the setup. Packers got a good defense anyways. But I think you're getting a little too cute because, listen, if Pollard was healthy, he got you here. He's not healthy. ETN, we had him in a few spots. He's just Bigsby and that team. He shows the flashes, but your safest play is Rico. That's your safe play.
Yep. I guess my concern was and my team's dropping like flies. I lose CeeDee Lamb and I lose David Njoku. So I'm thinking instead and shoot, Rico could. I'm saying I need a big output here, and maybe Rico has a couple of big runs or a couple touchdowns. So. It's almost between Rico and my getting cute with Kendre Miller at this point there. So, no, I'm liking what you're putting down there. But got to go Tucker Kraft at tight end. That's all my other tight ends are hurt. I had Njoku, I had Evan Ingram, And then the rest of it is pretty straightforward and pretty easy. But I need some big numbers after Derrick Henry and Lamar. He's got A-Chain himself. He's got Cooper Kupp, Sutton, Kittle, Devontae. So it's I'm going for the three-peat here in my dynasty. But this is my toughest one yet.
Well, the other thing too is, enough of the Devontae Adams rebirth and reborn there. We can throw a clunker hopefully in that one there. Cooper Kupp has just been fading down the stretch. He's just a shell of himself right now. You probably get a big game from Puka, and Kupp is just, I was talking to someone about it. He's going to have a great playoff run here, and then he got goose egged his first game in week 15. So I'd stick with Rico. I again, if Kendra blows up, God bless him. But again, don't forget too that Jalen Hurts has not cleared concussion protocol.
That's fair. That's fair.
And if they rush him back and he gets a second one, he's out for a month. Right. So I think there's a good possibility that you're gonna see Jalen sit this one out, and then you could get a real, no CeeDee Lamb. So now you got Brandon Cooks, you got Tolbert, you got Ferguson. So that could be more of a Rico game, and a lot tighter. I still think the Eagles are going to win, but a lot ground control, less taking it over the top. So I think Rico's definitely a play there.
Yeah, because there has been points where it hasn't been the most successful efficiency-wise, but they still feed him a good amount of times, and it racks up enough. So I like that angle of it. Makes a lot of sense as well. That's a good point there. So last night's game, though, obviously a offensive stinker in Chicago, my friend. 6-3. You said it. No touchdowns scored. I don't know how a coaching staff could mismanage the clock that poorly in a 2-minute drive, let alone having done it already once before, and that being the nail in the coffin for getting the head coach fired, and now interim coach Thomas Brown steps up, and maybe not quite as bad, but for the full 2 minutes, I mean, there was a point where they were at their own 40-45 and wasted 40 seconds off the clock, I think it was. So just absolutely abysmal. Caleb Williams running for his life out there, obviously not putting up rookie of the year numbers, but showing flashes and really showing a testament to it doesn't matter how good you are coming out of the draft, how good you might look at times. If you don't have a good coaching staff and a good offensive line, etc., it's really, really hard to do what to be the best version of yourself at quarterback there.
In every game like that, you hear Ben Johnson watching the game, and that was the play, is Ben Johnson's going to leave the Lions, which he didn't last year because he's got a job to do. He wanted to come back for the Super Bowl run. Looking at this, and Caleb's good. Okay, Caleb's good. Okay, but I didn't agree with bringing Keenan Allen over when you had, I thought, which would have been your number one, is DJ Moore. Drafting Odunze, all right, fine. But you could see him really forcing the ball to Odunze, the rookie there. Him and DJ Moore haven't seen eye to eye. Their O-line sucks. They're in a division where the Packers aren't going anywhere. Obviously, the Lions aren't going anywhere. And I thought the Vikings were going to regress. Well, they obviously didn't. So if I'm Ben Johnson, I'm going to really think this one hard over. And, of course, now the guy that I wanted to coach the Patriots, Mike Vrabel, is the number one guy in Chicago, the number one guy in Vegas, the number one guy everywhere. Vrabel reminds me of a Ditka. He's the guy I think that should go to Chicago. Let's build up that Monsters of the Midway again. You got the quarterback. You got some pieces. So it's going to be interesting. And I'll ask you this. Do you want to see Ben Johnson over there, or would you be more a little nervous if Mike Vrabel showed up there?
It's a good question because, honestly, going from the Lions to the Bears, I mean, you still keep him in the division, and he gets taken away from Detroit, who's obviously been a thorn in the Packers' side. So I guess I don't know what the answer to that question is. I think those are two good choices for them. It's obviously two different paths. I'd prefer to see a third option that's not on that board, if I'm being honest with you there. But I like Mike Vrabel a lot. I don't know that it would scare me shaking in my boots, but that would be a culture builder and kind of establish, like you said, win with defense, and then obviously build up, Caleb Williams in the offense as much as you can there. and win that way, or it's all offense. That's the one thing I don't know. I'm curious to see what they're going to do because they've obviously had a carousel of drafting a quarterback, not getting rid of the coach, then getting rid of the coach a year later. And so I'm wondering if they're going to try and pair him up with an offensive guru and kind of break their cycle of what they've been doing. And not to say that Mike Vrabel wouldn't be breaking that cycle either as far as personality-wise. But I don't know. I don't know who I would rather see. It's going to be interesting. But until further notice, they are still at the bottom of the NFC North, my friend.
Russell Saylor saying Gruden is hard for the Bears job, and I made mention that Barstool's, that move to him over to Barstool's keeps his name back up there, and that Barstool's done a great job. He's done a great job.
Yeah.
I love Chucky. I want to see him get another shot. I think more teams need to look at what Washington did. Hey, we got the defensive head coach, and they brought in Kingsbury. That's why, again, for me, Mayo, thanks, but no thanks. I'm going to bring Vrabel in, and then I'm going to look for another Kingsbury. I'm going to look, maybe Dable gets fired. I'm going to bring in that OC. Let Mike control the head coaching job and the defensive side of the ball and give me that offensive coordinator that can help Drake May. Not that we remember year 2 with Mac Jones. We just destroyed him with Patricia and Judge. You can't do that. And I don't think the Patriots leaving May in that head spot and clearing the whole shelf and resetting there is the way to go either.
Yeah, that's going to be an interesting one. And there's going to be a lot of options is kind of how it's shaping up to be. And there might even be a couple more jobs that become available that are potential spots or lack thereof as far as interest. And we might see some guys that are just looking for an opportunity that it's not the best situation, but they might just take it just to take it. So I'm curious to see where it goes. Tomorrow, we've got 3 games. All of them have some playoff implication to them, not necessarily for both teams involved. You've got the Chargers and the Patriots, as you mentioned there. Chargers minus 4.5. These games are I think especially for a Patriots team who has their quarterback, it is important to win some games here. But, I mean, we saw it with Vegas. I don't know what they exactly fell to, but winning, if you're a 2, 3, 4-win team, you win a game and you drop 5 spots in the draft order here. So I think the Patriots are probably in that category of a team that would love to win a couple games here and get some momentum. But curious what the locals are thinking as far as, do we want to win some games, or are we going full tank and trying to get top 3 pick here?
Well, I bring back Joe Burrow's first year. He gets injured. And then they're in the draft is staring their left tackle, their future, Mr. What's his name? Sewell from the Lions. But Joe and company says, now we got a guy named Jamar Chase that we're taking. And it worked out great for both of them. The Patriots need a left tackle, they need a right tackle, and they need a stud wide receiver. Well, last year, they won a Christmas Eve game and they won a late game, and it screwed them out of Jaden Daniels. They ended up getting lucky with Drake May. Now, if they don't win another game, they're going to be staring at Travis Hunter.
Yep.
Okay. So do you pass on Travis Hunter, who's going to be a thorn now because he's going to want to play offense? But if I could pair Hunter with Christian Gonzalez, I got my bookends back there. I am set. Yeah, we'll let you play offense here and there. You got money to burn. You can go get yourself a wide receiver, or 3rd, 4th, 5th round. Don't pick one in the 2nd round, Mr. Polk or Mr. Baker. Just Travis Hunter there. That kid in Arizona, the McMillan, the wide receiver, he just amazing. But my problem with picking him is that you've whiffed so many times on an offensive guy in the 1st round. At that point, I'd almost want to trade back and stockpile some picks, maybe get dropped back to 7th, 8th, 9th, whoever might need a quarterback or something, and then stockpile there. So the locals want Travis Hunter. We want Travis Hunter. If you're staring at Travis Hunter, I want Hunter and Gonzalez in the back end. We've now created our own Revis Island back there. Good luck passing in that division.
Yeah, no, and especially the way it's shaping up, or the way it has shaped up, the Patriots need to shape up to get in line with. You've got obviously Josh Allen not going anywhere in that division. You've got The Dolphins, I guess I don't know what the 5 to 10 year future holds, but obviously they're going to keep rolling out what they've got right now. And then the Jets are going to try and piece it together or find a quarterback sooner or later. But that game, 42.5 on the total in New England. There, Chargers need to still take care of business a little bit here. Are we, having said all of that, are we expecting this Patriots team to play spoiler at all, or is this going to be a Chargers team kind of come in and maybe a close game, but grind it out and get the win at the end?
Navy holds on 21-20. My assumption is, and I didn't see it, Oklahoma probably scored and went for 2, or they scored late. So that would be, if they miss the extra point, I apologize. 21-20 there. It's going to be, don't forget, they moved the Patriots game on Saturday. It was supposed to be Sunday. The place is, I'm going to tell you, the top bowl, the 300s, is going to be bare. It's going to be ass bare. So Russell Saylor said went for 2 and got sacked. So hats off to the midshipmen there. And hats off to Oklahoma. They were second and third strings, and they destroyed Alabama and knocked them out. So hats off to them as well there. I expect the Chargers to win. I expect a tight game. I would say Chargers win, Patriots cover. Patriots team total 17.5 juiced over, minus 20 cents. Packers 23.5 juiced over, minus 25 cents. This has got that 24-20 feeling to me, somewhere in there. Hard fought game. May looks good, shows flashes. 2 quarterbacks that Herbert's had a phenomenal year. The Chargers are just going to get better year to year with Harbaugh, and they're not going to be an easy out, by the way, come playoff time either.
No, and especially if they can get, the running back room is obviously banged up right now, and that's a big part of what they're trying to do over there. So I'm curious to see. I bet they, I'm not saying they waste a first rounder on it, but I bet they go and get aggressive in the draft for a running back, the Chargers, this upcoming year. Would be my guess there, and or maybe free agency. I don't know. But Broncos Bengals, the midday game there. This one, Broncos still got work to do. Bengals, they need some help. They need to obviously win this game, and one of the two. Obviously, if they beat the Broncos, that would help. But need the Broncos or Chargers to lose 2 games, and they need the Dolphins and Colts to lose a game. So obviously, it's far-fetched to a degree here, but the Bengals are still going to be fighting in this game here. They are 3.5-point favorites at home here, 49.5 on the team total. They are the home team here. They've got the home field advantage. The crowd with that carrot that they're still alive is probably going to be pretty rowdy and pretty active there. This Broncos team has been kind of hard to predict. They've obviously had some success with Bo Nix. Lose that tough one to the Chargers. Otherwise, they'd be punched in already this morning. But any love for the Broncos in this one? Is this too inflated, or is this a Bengals and this offense are just a train that is not going to be stopped at this point?
I think they'll get slowed down by the Chargers, but if I'm Harbaugh, I know you're not playing the game not to get hurt. I know if they have opportunities, Sean Payton. This game will be decided early. If the Broncos hang around and they get an opportunity to steal this one, they're going to steal it. But I think Joe, home game, keeps the thought process alive. Hey, we win and anything still can happen. Here's the downside. Broncos host the Chiefs next Sunday. Now, the Chiefs have wrapped up everything. So the Chiefs are taking week 18 off. The Chiefs have got the bye week, and then they get a tomato can while the Bills and Ravens beat themselves up and see who comes to Arrowhead to see who goes to the Super Bowl. And yes, Carson Wentz to the rescue. I don't know who will be in the backfield. I don't know who will be at wide receiver. Maybe they try to get Hollywood Brown going as he's back here. But the Chiefs they've done all their work. So the thought process is Bengals win, keep the dream alive. But I'm just going off the top of my head here, and you guys are going to call me crazy. The Broncos are going to be at least 7-point favorites, needing a win to get in against the Chiefs that are playing for nothing next Sunday.
Right. The only thing they would be playing for would be keeping their rivals out of it. Russell with a great comment that 6'5" Ginger SOB is going to cook versus Denver. So you never know. I mean, and if you're the Bengals, I mean, we saw it a couple years ago. I think it was Aaron Rodgers last year with the Packers. Different scenario where the Packers controlled their own destiny a little bit more, but you have those last 2 weeks where you say you have a chance and they go in or at home against the Vikings. This was 2 years ago. And beat the absolute daylights out of the Vikings with the chance to, and then obviously the Lions come in and beat the Packers. But at the end of the day, that second to last week, when you got that carrot of, if we get this one, then anything can happen, that's the game where usually things do go well for you. So Bengals team totals, let's see, 26.5 I see over here. Broncos team total, 22.5 juiced over, 23.5 juiced under. Are you going just a Bengals parade here, or maybe the Broncos to stay off the scoreboard a little bit here?
Well, I looking at this again, I like to try to get the plus money here, but I'm very confident in the Bengals. So if you want them to get to 27 or better, I don't have a problem laying the 20 cents. They've had actually kicking issues of late, so maybe some of those potential stalled drives might turn into 4th and 1s and 2s that they go for it. So if you want to lay the 20 cents, I like the Bengals team total over the 26.5. Denver 22.5 juiced over minus 140. They're trying to tell you they get to 23 or better. Does it get over the total is the real question here. I'm relying on the Bengals here, so I don't have a lot to say on the Denver side. Now listen, if Denver goes up 7-0, then a pick 6 and they're up 14-0, the game changes here. McLaughlin not on the injury report, so they can play some keep away with McLaughlin, the Stime, and whatever else they want to do. Broncos defense is good. We know the Cincinnati defense is not that good, so if you're a Bronco fan of this game, take them in the first half here. Maybe you get that pick 6. Maybe you get a couple stalled drives. Maybe you get out early and Bo looks good. Again, as they keep it close and closer, I like the Bengals to find a way to win and pull away. So, again, for me, Broncos, Cincinnati team total over the 26.5 minus the 20 cents is where I would lean in that game.
Yeah, need some maybe 3 touchdowns from Burrow to Higgins for my sake of things over here. Late game on Saturday, Rams and Cardinals. Interesting, and they didn't really say it much last night. And I think they were just trying to drum up more interest in the game last night. But the Rams and Seahawks game next week is what really matters here. The Rams lose this game, it's still going to come down to win or lose next week for the division against the Seahawks here. Even if they were to win this game, the Seahawks still have a chance to beat them next week and catch them there. So, and they're 6.5-point favorites. Is there any chance that the Rams just don't have as much urgency in this game and are trying to kind of skate through this one without any injuries? Because next week is the one that really matters here.
Well, it's funny. I was the one last week saying last week's game meant nothing. Rams flying to New Jersey to face the Jets. I love the Jets plus the 3, and they found a way not just to win, but to cover, of course. And now they came back because it was initially win your last 2 games, divisional games, at home against Arizona and Seattle, and you're in.
Right. Now
the way that things has turned is it doesn't matter this week. You got to win next week. So I was already under the assumption they needed to win these 2. Rams team total over 27.5. Karen Williams, anytime touchdown. Puka, anytime touchdown. I think you're having a big dose of Puka. I'll even get froggier. Arizona team total under 20 and a hook plus 105. Book that one as well. I'm team Rams this week.
Fair enough. And the seeding does matter if they're in the 3 seed right now, but I believe can be caught by the Bucks or Falcons. I don't know exactly the tiebreakers and whatnot, but they're a game ahead of them right now. So it does matter, and it's going to be an interesting one because this Cardinals team is looking bad. They are banged up, and they're have had an interesting season, a good progression season after last year. The roster hasn't been fantastic. But 4 of their last 5, at least, in the loss column. So this Cardinals team has not been very good. and they're going into LA obviously in this one. So that is it for Saturday, my friend. We've got I don't know where else you'd like to go on today's show. We've obviously got plenty of games on Sunday. My Packers and Vikings, big one there. We've got NBA tonight. We've got college bowl games all weekend long. We've got the playoff games next week, but I'm sure we'll catch each other before those games happen.
Yeah, I'm going to flip the switch, give some hockey team totals. We can quickly go over the bowl games tonight, and you can add any NBA. I will say this: the Celtics lost yesterday. Hold on.
2 days ago.
Wednesday, right? I'm losing track
Wednesday.
of days already. They lost on Christmas to the Sixers. And I'm just going to say this, guys. They got the dream run last year. They faced every team that was injured. They faced the 4 or 5 seed Mavericks. They win the championship, and then they get the chip on the shoulders because Jaylen Brown wasn't invited to the Olympics. Jaylen Brown's minutes was slighted. This team, no one's going to stop them. Vegas had them less than 3-1 to win it all. And I'm just going to say this, guys. If you think you're just going to turn a switch on, they've lost more games at home already on December 27th than they did all last year. Okay? Porzingis, every time he plays, it's a new injury. Just watch out. I'm not saying they're not going to win the East. I'm not saying that. But if you think that they're going to just walk through and win back-to-back championships, I think you're wrong. I do. There's a team called OKC that looks pretty damn good. There's a couple other teams out west that with the right pieces at the All-Star break and the trade deadline could be a force. Cavaliers, I know everyone doesn't like them. Well, the Orlando Magic own the Celtics' ass right now, and they're playing without their 2 best players, okay? Is Orlando going to beat the Celtics in a 7-game series? Probably not. But my point is, the Sixers have talent. They just haven't had the talent on the court. Anything can happen here. It's the NBA. So all Celtics Nation, just, take it a little easy on the duck boat and parades in the repeat, will you?
Not to mention, there could be a couple pieces on the move that could make one of these contenders a little stronger. There's already some trade rumors coming out now, but no, I mean that you have I don't think the Knicks would beat them in a 7-game series either, but the Knicks could get aggressive at the trade deadline. But yeah, if the Celtics team finds that hunger and are locked in, then I think they are the best team, and they maybe not walk to a title, but they win the title. But yeah, if they're just entitled and think they're going to walk easy without having that mentality, then absolutely. That Magic team has got that young. They don't give a damn about anything. They just don't realize what their place is, and they're making their own place. And like you said, they are banged up. So I'm interested to see, but I'm curious to see where we get with the trade deadline and see if we get any big shakeups here. Milwaukee's been playing better than the early start of the season. But they, need to make a move if they're real serious about this year, obviously.
And again, the trade that everyone talked about for years, and I guarantee you he gets healthy real quick. And I don't know, I assume they don't have the pieces. But if I'm the Knicks, I'm calling down for Zion Williamson. I guarantee you he'll lose 20 pounds in a heartbeat, never mind living in New York City. And I don't think they got the trade pieces, but you should be able to get them for 10 cents on the dollar. So that's my NBA write-up. NHL team totals. The Detroit Red Wings team total over 2.5 is -130. They fired the coach. This is the fire the coach autoplay. They're +125 against the Maple Leafs. So we like the Red Wings to get to 3 or better tonight. And I actually like them potentially to win this game. They're +125 there. They are coming off a shutout defeat, which is a system play for over 1.5 goals in the first period. They host the Leafs at 7:07. The Sabres, who finally broke the streak and they got off the schneid. I don't know, they had lost like 13 in a row. Their team total over 3.5 +105. The Bruins team total over 3.5 +105 at Columbus is interesting. Dallas facing a Wild team coming off a loss that is just like on the road, like 9-1, Andrew said. But if you like Dallas tonight, you don't have to lay the -150 or whatever. You can get their team total over 3.5 at +115. Vegas tonight, if you like their team total at Do You Know the Way to San Jose, gonna lay a little juice there at over 3.5 there. Currently, 5 minutes gone by. Georgia Tech, Vanderbilt are scoreless. I just want to bring up this one bowl game. Actually, I'm going to do two bowl games here. Texas Tech and Arkansas. Arkansas lost a bazillion players. Paul Stone came on here Thursday. He loves Texas Tech. If you like Texas Tech, I'm not telling you to lay the 2.5. Hit that risk button. Play the money line. You can get it around minus 138. Texas Tech to win. Here's the Comedy Central one. Syracuse against Washington State opened up 5.5 with a 60.5. Syracuse now is minus 18 people. So Washington State intramural champions are playing against Syracuse. You can get Syracuse first half minus 10. You can get their team total over 20.5. Their team total's 38, but they're saying early and often. There's Riley on the horn right now.
Yeah, they're asking me to come in and play running back for them tonight, actually. So I'm going to have to head out here early on this one.
So I like Syracuse first half minus the 10. I like their team total over 20 and a hook first half. We got them yesterday. Kansas State first half team total over 14.5. They got to 17. ECSI VIPs on an amazing run right now. I'm pulling up the numbers to be exact so I don't cheat us. 34-9 our last 43 games. And we have cracked Da Vinci's code in the NCAA basketball team totals. If you want to be a part of this, DM me at EC Sports Invest or send me an email at eastcoastsportsinvestors@gmail.com. I'll take you through March Madness for pennies on the dollar for the ECSI VIP service. And the last bowl game, money is creeping back in on A&M against USC. A&M opened up at 1, now 3.5 at the Superbook. Mr. Murray, good afternoon there. With a 55, it opened at 50 and a hook, so people expecting some points. I'd lean A&M, but the trend is Lincoln Riley in bowl games with a couple weeks to prepare, so keep an eye on USC as well.
Yeah, that one felt like it was, Texas A&M, everyone had a lot of respect for them, almost played spoiler at the end there. And USC, obviously, we know they can put up some points, but also have some flaws. So that one seemed a little easy for me, but I'm with you. I still lean towards A&M. NBA tonight had a few that it is Friday night. Had a few that I wanted to see if they also smelled a little fishy to you, my friend. Timberwolves and Houston. Rockets at home, 21-9. 1.5 point favorites at home against this Wolves team, 15-14. Just been treading water all season long. Can't really get any string of wins together for the Wolves here. Yet only 1.5 point favorites at home for the Rockets, who have won 3 of their last 4, I believe it, or 3 of their last 5, are playing really, really well. At least as of right now, Dylan Brooks really the only key player on the injury report. I think he's 4th or 5th, best scorer. So not any of their top 3 guys. Only 1.5. Did that one smell a little fishy to you? The Rockets at home here tonight.
Just a tad, sir. Let me get that. 1 to a pick now at circa -1 at the sports book. You know I'm a big Houston fan. I think Ime's going to steal Jaylen Brown next year. I just talking outside of this side of the neck here. I know Jaylen Brown's got a big thing for him. He looked great over there in Houston. I love this Rocket team. It does smell a little to me. Minnesota opened up at 1, now a pick. So I like where your eyes are.
And yeah, not to derail us, but the Houston is a team. They remind me of, I'll say 2 years ago more so than now. And kind of crossing over sports here. That's like a San Francisco Giants team who's dying to spend money and add another piece to this roster and put them over the top. San Francisco obviously didn't make it happen. Houston's going to make it happen somehow. And teams aren't really going to that B-level talent and spending a ton of money, but they'll add somebody at some point to give them a crack at it, whether it's Brown, whether that be bringing in a little older hometown guy, Jimmy Butler, in via whether it be trade this year or down the line, I don't know. But that's a team that's going to add somebody, whether it be this year or in the offseason. They're going to be a threat here for the next few years. Next one, Cavs and Nuggets. Going back to our now I'm derailing us here for good. Eagles ruled out Jalen Hurts for Sunday's game against the Cowboys. So that is a big news, and that That's got me sold the way you were putting that with Rico Dowdle there, my friend. I'll be asking for my check if Kendra Miller puts up a 30 spot on me tonight. But that's one I can live with. But anyways, Cavs and Nuggets. Cavs 2.5-point favorites in Denver tonight. Cavs 26-4. Denver 16-12. Cavs a nice little win streak going right now. I actually don't even know what the number is. They've got 5 in a row, 9 of their last 10. In Denver tonight, as of right now, Jokic is good to go. Still no Aaron Gordon. Jamal Murray game to game. I believe he is. What I'm seeing is probable though. Are we? I know it's Denver and it's in Denver, but are we surprised to see the Cavs as only 2.5-point favorites the way they're playing here tonight?
I mean, did you ever have on your bingo card Denver being an underdog at home to Cleveland?
No, I did not.
And it's a solid underdog. It opened at 1. It's now 3. There are 2.5 at the Superbook in South Point. You know what caught my eye is the total 236 to 237.5, 238. So if I do some quick math here, 20. Yeah, so they're saying Cleveland Cavalier. If you like Cleveland tonight, take their team total. Is it 120 and a hook? Is that what they gave you?
I'll find it in 2 seconds here. 119.5.
Yeah, take the Cleveland team total over the 119.5. If you like Cleveland, don't buy the move on the 1 to 3 or play the money line there. If you like Cleveland, take their team total over 119 and a hook.
Little no defense there tonight. I like it. This one maybe not as fishy, but worth mentioning. It can definitely be explained a little better here. Dallas in Phoenix just lost Luka Doncic. They've got seemingly everybody else. No Devin Booker tonight for the Suns, so that obviously plays a factor into it. Unless we get some more reports, which wouldn't shock anybody of any other stars out of that game. Surprised to see the Suns as only 1.5-point favorites over a no Luka Doncic Dallas team here tonight.
Yeah, and it's 1.5 at Circa. It's 1 across the board. I'll follow the lead. Lose the star the first couple of games. Team usually next man up plays well. Kyrie or whoever else steps in. I'd lean Dallas here. Get him +1, 1.5. Sprinkle a little beer and pizza on the +108 or whatever you're getting on the money line. For me, it's Mavericks or nothing in this game.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. And Suns 15-14, another team that just can't really get it going beyond that middling mark there. But at some point they will get it turned on. Those were the ones I had to throw at you. Golden State 4.5-point dogs, but looks like no Steph Curry tonight. They are at the Clippers in that one. Knicks and Magic. Knicks big favorites, 7.5-point favorites, but Magic kind of a skeleton crew. No Banchero, no. They lost Mo Wagner for the season. Franz Wagner also out for a couple more weeks here. So that obviously hurts. They are a good team, but obviously very banged up there. The Celtics 12.5-point favorites over the Pacers. That is a big one there. Is that a little inflated, or is that fair? This Pacers team is actually playing. They did not have the start people are expecting them to, but they've won a handful in a row right now. Is that a statement, or is that inflated there for the Celtics?
Now, it's a Friday night special coming off a home loss on Christmas Day. It's a good bounce back spot. Celtics play great against the Pacers. Quick math, 15, 18, 20. So they're saying the Celtics team total is probably, 121 and a hook today?
I believe that's what I saw. Yeah, 121.5.
Yeah, geez, I guess I'm a numbers guy. I just try to do the quick math. Don't worry about the spread or nothing. Take the Celtics team total over 121.5, and you can send me a thank you at around, what time's the game tip off? 7:40. You can send it to me at around 10:12 tonight. How's that?
There you go. That's all I've got for the NBA, my friend. Few little stinky ones, but big, nice big NBA slate. We got through Christmas. So the ratings for NFL obviously crushing the NBA once again. So NBA's got to do something going forward, but the eyes will start to turn towards the NBA a little bit more here and with every month that passes here.
There's a stalemate, and I'll close with this before I get your closing thoughts. Tigers are now out on Bregman. They signed someone for 2 years. I guess he wants 7 years. Sox offering 6. So I'll ask you the question: is it inevitable that we will hear sooner than later Alex Bregman to the Red Sox?
I think so. Because I mean, you said the Red Sox. They are seemingly in that spot of trying to add pieces, but not in the grand prize $500 million guys. They're pretty aggressive. It seems like in that that tier 2 level player there, which if you load up on that, can definitely get you places. So. I think that is inevitable, unless you get a kind of a wild card, maybe an NL team that is kind of middling that steps up. But I think we would have heard something by now. So yeah, I'll go with you, Bregman to the Red Sox.
Hey, he played with Cora. I don't think the Tigers was a fit if he wants to try to get a ring or two. I'm not saying the Red Sox are ready for rings. They're moving in the right direction. We had talked about the addition of Crochet. They add Walker Buehler. Now you add a Houck, a Crawford, a Bello. They added Chapman into the back. They got the youth. They didn't have to give up Cassis. They got Roman Anthony, the number 1 ranked guy in baseball right now. The only downside to Adam Bregman is that takes us out of Vladdy next year. But they say if they do add Bregman, they're moving him to second base. So you'll have Cassis at first, Bregman at second, Story when healthy at short, leaving Devers at third to start the year.
And that's not bad at all. And I like that rotation, especially the front end of that rotation, and with the chance to get better there. So I'm with you. I like them moving forward, my friend. I think they're moving in the right direction, as you said there. My closing thoughts. I don't have too much. Obviously, I hope everyone had a Merry Christmas. Hoping everyone has a safe New Year. If we don't hop on a show before then, but I'm sure we will. Other than that, you've got 1 bowl game now, 3 more tonight, and a boatload of them tomorrow. And I know there's some people who like to have some fun on a Saturday watching football. You've got 3 NFL games. Pump the brakes, take it easy. Maybe do your research before you see a team that you watched all season long as I off the top of my head, a 6-point underdog, and then not realizing that they may or may not have all of their receivers out or all of their cornerbacks out. If you're going to be gambling on some of these bowl games tonight and tomorrow, do your research, because these are not the same teams that for the most part, they're not the same teams that we saw in October and November and had some fun with them all season long. So that's my closing thoughts on that one, and I'll go ahead and get out of the way. But obviously have some fun. I know people are going to have some fun, so best of luck to you.
Good friend, fan of our show, Mr. Russell Saylor. I'll give you a free shout out here. Everyone who's a coffee buff, like me, I drink 10, 12 cups a day. That's all I do is drink coffee. Black coffee, dark, bold, John Wayne style here. Head on over to subterracoffee.com. That's Subterra, Terra coffee.com. Place an order today. Enjoy 15% off your first order. Closed December 23rd through the January 2nd, but they'll get the order out to you. If you're new to the company, tell them Jeff Dawson, Riley Magnuson from ECSI sent you there. There you go, Russell. Hope to have you guys on board with WagerWire, with Atlanta Steaks and Seafood, and of course with Viva Tequila Seltzer. Love to get the logo up here and promote you guys. As much coffee as I drink, I can't think of anyone that would be a bigger fan than me than for subterracoffee.com. So everyone, as he said, it's Freaky Friday. Don't be the pizza man. Enjoy yourself. If you got paid today, go home, take care of the bills. If you gotta play something, do it responsibly. Don't be the pizza man. Don't go to your local watering hole, your barber shop, wherever you place wagers, the sports books. Be that person that is responsible. You place some early wagers on some bowl games or the 7 o'clock games, and then you get caught up with the West Coast action. And then next thing you know, your wife calls you at 10:30 and says, "Where's the pizza?" "Oh, shit, it's on the oven." And you come home at 11:30, cold pizza in hand, pillow, blanket on the couch. It's not a good way to start the weekend, never mind to end the year. So be responsible and take care of business. ECSI VIPs, we are on a heater. What a way to end 2024. We're just going to keep it rolling to 2025. Again, anyone interested in receiving our texts and our emails, just do me a favor. Jump on into EC Sports Invest. Send me a DM. I promise to take good care of you. For myself, Jeff Dawson at EC Sports Invest, the one and only Riley Magnuson at Riley_Magnuson1. We wish everyone a blessed day, a great weekend. We'll catch up with you on Monday. Hopefully, Monday. I have a new computer, a new engine to add to the studio. I have to drop it off at Best Buy tomorrow at 4, and they said 24 to 48 hour turnover time. So keep our fingers crossed, because I am as dumb as a bag of bricks. I look great back here. I do, but technology, I can maneuver any place I gotta go. Ask me a technology question, forget about it. So love you guys. Have a good one. We'll see you soon.